we're going to work on example 3. Here's what example 3 said. In the year 2000, Nike sold $9 billion worth of junk trucks. In the year 2001, it was $9.5 billion, right? Okay, they asked me to write an equation that tells the net sales Y in terms of the year X. Did they tell you right there who was X and who was Y? Y'all, they did. Can you pick anybody to be X and Y? Not when they tell you. They said, tell me how many billions you made Y in terms of the year X. So these are my X's and these are my Y's. They want me to write an equation. In order to write an equation, what do you have to have? 2 points in a slope?
Just 1 point
Just 1 point in a slope, right? Everybody agree? Got to have a point and a slope, and then I can use the point-slope formula. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. All right? Well, do we have a point? What do we have?
2 points.
We have 2 points, people. Here's one, and here's the other. So, we got either point you can use for your point, so we got to have the slope. So, 2 points stacked up, I like that. Okay, and circle the y's because they go where? On the top. So, my slope is delta y over delta x. So, the change in y with the change in x. If I say 9.5 minus 9 on the top, what do I have to say on the bottom?
2001 minus 2.
Very good. Whatever order you pick, you have to keep. What is 9.5 minus 9? Over 1. Is this an acceptable answer? Y'all, I would count that wrong every stinking day. Okay? So, you cannot leave a decimal within a fraction within a fraction. All of those are illegal. You can either pop it in your calculator, or you can just use your brain. Let's quick 5 over 1. Very good. Okay? So, this is my slope. I'm going to express it as a fraction, and the reason is, you don't have to, but sometimes I think it's easier for kids to see things as a fraction. I'm going to ask you, if you were in a sales meeting with the Nike president, what would you tell him about his sales? Would you say, well, Mr. President, the slope of your sales is 1/2. No, because he'd be like, what? What are you talking about? Okay? What would you tell him?
You tell them increase by 0.5 every year.
What does that mean, guys? What does that mean? By one what? $1? 1 billion. Very good. Oh, that's what that means. That's what this slope is saying. It's saying every 2 years. Y'all look, X is on the bottom. That's my years. Okay? Y is on the top. That's my money. I make $1 billion every what? 2 years. Okay? So, is it increasing? Is it increasing? What did y'all say? 500 million every year? Yes, you could say that. Okay? But I didn't know if some people would see where you got 500 million. Okay? But why are they saying 500 million? Because that's half of a billion, okay, every 1 year. Okay? So you could say it that way, or you could say it this way. Whichever way, it's all the same. Okay? Alright. Now, let's see if we can write our equation. So, y minus. I'm going to choose the first point just because it has less stuff in it, okay? So, y minus. What's y sub 1? 9.5? No, 9. Sorry, I put the first one. is equal to, what's the M? 0.5 times X minus, what's X of 1? 2,000? Alright, so now I'm going to distribute and collect. So, Y minus 9 is equal to, what's 0.5 times X? What's 0.5 times negative 2,000? What's half of 2,000? Alright. Now, we are going to add 9 to both sides. Is that right? And Y is equal to 0.5x minus 991. So there's my equation, okay? There's my equation that represents the growth of my sale at 90, okay? Now, what if I asked you to predict the sale? That's right. You can't just say, okay, like what? We're going to do that. Predict the sales in 2002. What if I wanted to predict the sales in 2002? Tell me what I'm going to do. Okay, I take that 2006. Now look, I know some of y'all are just doing it that way, okay? I can make this different by, I can make it where you couldn't do that. So I want you to know the skills to be able to do it instead of just keeping on adding. Alright, so I'm going to plug that in for X. So Y is equal to 0.5 times 2002 minus 991. Y is equal to half of 2002 is 1001. What's 1001 minus 991? 10. So we're going to make $10. 10 billion. Is that word important? People, there's a whole huge difference between $10 and $10 billion. $10 and you can go to the McDonald's, what do they call it now? The double menu or something? The $2 menu? $2.62? Yeah, 64 for $10. I'm like going, we came off the dollar menu, we're picking 2 for $2, and they're acting like we're making some kind of big bargain. Guess what? They could make it 5 for $5. It's the same thing. Alright, but if I got $10 billion,
you could buy.
we're all going to Papa Do's. Okay? So, yeah, a lot of it. A lot of it.
You could buy some McDonald's.
Yeah, we could buy McDonald's. Yeah, they're free. Alright. 2 words. 2 words. Brand new words. Interpolation and extrapolation. You've heard those if you were in my class last year. We talked about these 2 words. Okay? I'm impressed that y'all remember them. Interpolation and extrapolation. We want to know what the difference between these 2 things are. Because a lot of times the directions will say interpolate or extrapolate. And you're like, what? That's exactly right. Y'all, look. In and X. Enter, exit. Okay? So one of them is within your data, and one of them is outside your data. Which one is within your data? Very good. This is within my data. Now here's what that means. Is I said in 1990, there were 2,000 Model A, okay? And then in 1998, there were 1,904 Model A's. A bunch of them got wrecked or something. I don't know. I'm making this up. All right? Then if I wanted to interpolate something, what dates could I be talking about? 97. Should I talk about 96? Should I talk about 92? Gonna talk about, 99? Why not? It's not within my data. That would be what? Extrapolation. Extrapolation. Very good. So that's outside your data. Now, let's talk about why that's important. Okay? Here's why it's important. As long as you're talking about within your data and you're interpolating, you can predict things. Okay? When you start extrapolating, you've got to be really careful. Now look, I extrapolated because that's 2002, right? And my data was 2000 and 2001. That's okay. He's pretty close to my data. Now what if I wanted to predict sales for 2012? That's not a good thing to do, okay? Because we could have had some kind of big disaster in between and it wouldn't have, yeah. You could have had a war. Is a war going to affect Nike sales? Yes, it is. Okay?
Well, they're major producers over China.
So, extrapolation, not so safe. You have to be careful. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about now. Got it. Sketching lines of graph. Okay? Look, there are two ways to graph something. I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, if I tell you to graph a line, what are you going to do? That's exactly right. You're going to put it in slope, intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b, and you're going to say m is my slope, and my y-intercept is b. And then you're going to graph that thing, okay? I'm going to tell you that sometimes, if that equation is given to you in standard form, y'all remember standard form? Perfect. AX plus BY equals B. Sometimes if it's given in standard form, it's easier to do it a different way. Okay? So when it's given to you in standard form, I can easily find my x-intercept and my y-intercept. Y-intercept. Yeah, not 14-intercept. Okay? Alright. So over here we can find the x-intercept and the y-intercept really easy. How do you find an x-intercept? That's 2 equal to 0. Y. Very good. An x-intercept you make y equal to 0, and a y-intercept you make x equal to 0. Very good. Okay. So, and watch what happens. If I find an x-intercept, if I make y 0, plug 0 into this y, what happens to this whole term? Yeah, he just goes away. So I just cover him up with my finger, and then you'll have something like 2x equals 6. You divide by 2, and you say, oh, my x-intercept's through. Okay? So it's really easy. Alright, so we're going to try 2 problems. One like this, and one like this. Alright, first of all, let's try this one. Let's do 2x plus 3y equals 12. Now listen, guys, if they asked me just to graph this, could I solve for y and put it in slope-intercept form and graph it? Yeah, you could. There's nothing wrong with it. Just watch how easy and fast this is going to be. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the x-intercept. Okay? Now remember, in order to find the x-intercept, what do? Okay, so when I put a 0 in for y, this whole term goes away. So you just put your finger on top of that. And then look what you have left. 2x equals 12. So what does my x-intercept have to be? That's 12. What is it? 6. So So I go to the x-axis and I go out to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I make a big dot. Alright? Now let's find my y-intercept. My y-intercept, I put 0 in for x. This goes away. I cover it up with my finger, and then it just says 3y equals 12. Solve for y, and what's my y-intercept? 4. So I'll go up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my line. Is that not easier than solving for y? Like, tons easier. Okay? Now, if they had asked me for the slope, I would have thought for y. Okay? But, alright, let's do one over here. What if I gave you 4x minus y is equal to 2. And I said, graph and give me the slope. What you gonna do? I'm gonna solve for y, guys, just because it's gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Once I solve for y, I can tell you the slope really fast, okay? And I can graph it. So let's solve for y. Tell me what to do. Minus 4x. Now I got negative y is equal to, remember the x goes first, so negative 4x plus 2. Now what do? All that negative 1's going to do is change everybody's sign. A negative over a negative becomes a positive 4x. Positive over negative becomes a negative 2. What's my slope? 4. Some people like to always express it as a fraction, so if you want to, you can write it as 4 over 1. What's my y-intercept? So I'm going to go to my y-intercept first, negative 2, and then I'm going to use my slope. I use slope. If it's positive, I go up and to the right. If it's negative, I go down and to the right. But I always run to the right, okay? So I'm going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. So I want to do it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. And here is the line. I'm telling you, this semester for some of y'all is going to be a little bit boring. I apologize, but that's just the way it is. Okay. This is what you're going to have on the first test. Okay? So, I'm going to give you a problem now, and I'm going to try to trick you. All I want you to do is graph it. Okay? All I want you to do is graph it. So, it's a timid setting, because I wasn't sure that's what I wanted, but I did. What? Yes, it is. It's a line. It is a line. It is not a line. Yes, it is a line. It's a line. Alright, so why is this problem going to mess kids up? It doesn't have a y. So they look at it and they go, what? I'm supposed to graph that and it doesn't have a y? What am I going to do? Solve for x. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. 2x equals 8. Divide by 2 and x is 4. What kind of line is that? You say, what? It's a vertical line. Let's take 4 G's all stuck together. What is the slope of that vertical line? Undefined. Very good. Undefined. So, All it is, God, here's what it says. What's your Y be? Anything you want it to be. Okay? But what is that? 4. So I don't care what Y is. It could be 0. It could be 2. It could be -4. It could be 7. It doesn't matter what Y is. X can only be 4.
3 and
Yeah. 4. Alright? Okay. Very good. I didn't trick you. Alright. Let's talk about this. General. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. General form on this. Okay? But I want to tell you what general form is. General form is AX plus BY plus C equals 0. In other words, general form takes everything and puts it over on the left and 0 on the right. As opposed to standard form that puts the constant over here on the right. Okay? Just want you to know that in case they say put your answer in general form, and you can do that. Alright? What? Alright, so now let's talk about parallel and perpendicular. Okay, so, parallel. Tell me what the symbol for parallel is. Okay? Tell me verbally, what do you know about parallel lines? No, tell me about this place. Tell me, they never intersect. Okay? So, look, I'm looking at the top line up there where the ceiling and the wall are. Okay, right in front of it. Everybody see that line? Where the ceiling and the wall meet. Alright, now look over here to the right on this wall and the line where the ceiling and the floor meet. Okay? Are those going to intersect? No. Are they parallel? No. Okay.
Probably in our school they would. They probably would.
There's 2 lines. So what has to be true about? Very good. Coplanar. So these are coplanar lines that never intersect. I hate geometry, so alright?
I like
Alright, now tell me what you know about their slopes. Hello? Tell me what you know about their slopes. Okay, so they have the same slope. That's why they don't intersect. They're both going up or down at the same rate. So in other words, M1 is equal to M2. Everybody agree with that? Okay, let's do the other one. Perpendicular. Alright, what's the symbol for them? Yeah, no, upside down capital T. Okay? And they, what did you say, Trey? Meet to form a right angle. Okay? What do you know about their slope? What?
Reciprocal, opposite reciprocal.
Yeah, opposite reciprocal. Slopes are opposite. What does that mean?
They're positive.
Yeah, one's positive, one's negative. Opposite reciprocal. That just means they're flipped, right? Alright, so remember last year we did this in algebra 2. So, remember I gave you a slope and then you had to tell me what's a parallel slope and what's a perpendicular slope. You made a little chart out. Y'all remember that? Alright, so what if I tell you that the slope of the line is 2/3? Slope of the line is 2/3. What's a parallel slope? Very good. 2/3. What's a perpendicular slope? Change of sign and flipping. -3/2. Very good. All right, let's do another one. What if I tell you that the slope of the line is 7? What's a parallel slope? What's a perpendicular slope? Very good. One more. Huh? Monday, Tuesday. Right now, I'm shooting Monday, Tuesday. I think I'll be doing it Monday, Tuesday. All right. What if I tell you the slope was -4? -1/4. Okay? What's the parallel slope? What's the perpendicular slope? Very good. Okay, so you can do that, right? Can you write the equation of a line given a point and a slope? Can you find the slope of a line if it's written in standard form? Then you know how to do the next problem. Okay? So here's the next problem. This is the most missed problem on the worksheet, which is a review for your test, and the test. The most missed problem. Okay? So, wait a second. Here we go. I don't know why people miss it. I'll show you some of the crazy things they do, but I don't know where they got it at. Maybe they looked on YouTube or something. They learned it from somebody they didn't know how. All right. So, yeah. All right. Find the slope intercept. Yeah. But it's really hard. No. They haven't fixed it yet, but it's really hard to hear. You have to turn it up. So Peyton, last class, Peyton said you could hear it. And I said, well, I tend to be loud, and you said, yes, you're loud.
Not at all. She's not loud at all, guys.
Don't worry. Slope intercept form of, I heard that.
Help! Help!
The slope intercept form of the equation of the line
I always said that to you. No, I was in the classroom beside him, and he was in calculus then. And he said, shut up. They can hear every single word that's said.
The equation of the line that passes through 2, -1, and is A parallel to 2x minus 3y equals 5, and B perpendicular to 2x minus 3y equals 5. All right, so first of all, how many answers am I going to have? 2 answers. So I'm going to have an A answer and a B answer. Okay? So, in order to write an equation of a line, I need a point and a slope. Everybody agree with that? So let's do A first. For A, the point is 2, -1, and I want it to be parallel to this line, so I want a parallel slope. Well, what's the first thing I need to do? Yeah, you've got to find the slope of this line up here. Okay? Now, y'all, these two are the same line. So once I find it, I don't need to do it again, okay? So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So I'll get -3y is equal to -2x plus 5. Okay? All I did was this. Now I'm going to divide by -3. Remember that you have to divide everything by -3. So -2 divided by -3 is positive 2/3 x. Positive 5 divided by -3 is negative 5/3. And y'all really, if I were doing a test, I wouldn't even do that part because I don't need that answer. Okay? This is all I need. What's the slope of this line? 2/3. So if the slope of this line is 2/3, what's a parallel slope? 2/3. All right. So now I'm going to write my equation. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. I don't believe that formula is going to be given to you on the test, so you need to make sure that you know it. All right? So let's substitute our stuff in. Y minus. Yep, you got to do it like this. Just like the test page. You want to do. So y minus what? Negative 1. So minus the negative 1 makes what? Plus 1 is equal to, what's the m? 2/3 times x minus 2. Very good. Now, all you have to do is distribute, and then we'll collect. So y plus 1 is equal to 2/3 times x, 2/3 x. Minus, what's 2/3 times 2? 4/3. Now, when we collect, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to subtract 1, but watch what I'm going to do over here. Over here, I'm going to write it as what? 3/3. Man, I'm on it. I'm going to get that common denominator. This goes away, and y is equal to 1/3 of the class last period got the wrong answer right here. It is negative 7/3. Okay? So that's my first answer. That goes in A. Y is equal to 2/3 x minus 7/3. Now, since this one right here is perpendicular, can I just take this and just flip that close and write as negative 3/2? No, that's what kids do. I don't know why they do that. I've never even taught that. Okay? Y'all, you can't. You have to do it all over again. Okay? You have to say, the point is 2, negative 1, and this time I want a perpendicular slope, which is going to be what? Negative 3/2. And then you just work it again. Alright? Quick in that bottle. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So y minus a negative 1 makes a plus 1. M, negative 3/2 times x minus 2. I'm going to distribute. So y plus 1 is equal to, tell me what you get. Negative 3/2 x.
Plus 6/3.
3. These two cancel out, guys. Okay? So you're just left with a 3. Now what do I do? Minus 1. So y is equal to negative 3/2 x plus what? 2. And that's my second answer. Do what? Well, I said you couldn't take this equation. If you want to take this equation, flip the slope and change the sign and write that all down again. You can't do that. You gotta work it all out again. So, like, this is a teacher's dream world, right? I gave you one problem, but really it's 2 problems. Okay? All right. So, anybody got a question? Monday, Tuesday. All right. So, what do we have? We got 2 minutes? All right, we'll stop then. All right, so we're going to start on section 2. Yes.